Hi guys, today we have another video displaying my phone collection as of July 20th, 2021, so let's get right into it. Starting off my main phone, LG Tribute Monarch, which this actually starts to smartphones and stuff like that. And Boost Mobile. Yeah, that works obviously. You can see me on there when I was younger. Then next up, for the first smartphone in my collection, not my first smartphone in my collection, I mean that, but actually, never mind. This is a Nokia Lumia 830 on AT&T. Works perfectly. Next up, we have an iPhone 4S. Works. It's on Verizon. But it's activation locked on, but it's on iOS 9.3.5. Next up, we have this HTC Desire 626S on Boost Mobile, running Android 6.0.1. I'm not sure about the Windows versions. My main phone's running Android 10. Next up, we have an iPod Touch, 4th gen, 8GB, 32GB, running iOS 6.1.6. Works perfectly fine. And all three of these phones work perfectly fine, by the way. And all these devices are dead, at least most of them besides my phone. Next up, we have another iPod Touch 4th generation, 8GB, running, I'm not sure what the iOS version is. It's stuck on iTunes, restore screen. Next up, we have another iPod Touch 4th generation, this one's the black one, 8GB, works perfectly fine, just have a very cracked screen. Actually, it's touchscreen. It's kind of iffy. It runs iOS 6.1.6. Next up, we have an iPod Touch, 2nd generation, running iOS 3.1.3, which is pretty rare. Works perfectly fine. Just needs to restore. I accidentally reset it, and now it needs to be restored to iTunes. Next up, we have a Motorola. It's actually a Motorola E2 on T-Mobile. He's 2nd gen, running Android 6.0.1. And by the way, the Samsung I actually gave away in a trade. If you didn't watch the video before this, I made yesterday. Next up, we have a Nokia Lumia 530. I forgot the carrier. I think it's AT&T. That's a Windows one, so I don't know the version. Moving on to slider phones. This is a smartphone, but it has a slider keyboard. This is a Samsung Transform on Sprint. You should go watch the review video on that. I bought a battery for it, but I think the motherboard is bad. I forgot the model for this. I always forget the model for this HTC. But it's on AT&T. It's very premium looking for a phone like this. Let me actually open up the keyboards. Well, actually, no, I won't be opening up the keyboards because it consumes the space for the phones. Yeah. Next up, we have an LG Expression on AT&T. Works. Oh, yeah, these two phones work. All of the smartphone devices work. This one does not work. Untested. Next up, we have a Samsung SGH A777. Works. on AT&T. Next up we have LG Cosmos 2 on Verizon. Works, but for some reason it gets stuck in a boot loop. I think it's just because that did. I also didn't charge it completely. Next up we have an LG Cosmos. Why'd I say it like that? An LG Cosmos on Verizon. Works. Moving on to candy bar phones, which I only have 3 of. Here's a Samsung SGH S150G. Works, and it's actually very great shape for how old the phone is. Next up we have a Samsung SGH S125G. They're both on TracFone. Meant to say that. Next up we have a Nokia 8260 on AT&T. Untested. I can actually actually no, this is technically. And then next up we have this. Actually, next up this is gonna be brick phones, which I have 2 of. This is a Nokia 100AU on Bell Antic, which is actually an Australian phone, which is kind of weird to have in the US, since that's where I live. Next up is a Panasonic. Panasonic KX TGA 652. That's untested over there. This works. Just don't have the docking station. Moving on to QWERTY phones, which have like bar. Oh, come on. Sorry, there's just a bug. Moving on to QWERTY phones. This is in. Whoa. Oh God. What the heck? Oopsies. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, that was kind of weird. Well, this is an Alcatel. I think a Alcatel One Touch on AT&T. Works. Actually, no. What does not work? The screen does not light up. Next up, we have a Nokia E62 #1 on T-Mobile. Work. Actually, tested, does not work. I think it needs a new battery. Moving on to flip phones. Next up, we have why can I not say it? A Doro Phone Easy 626. Does not work. The screen does not light up, but the keyboard lights up. Yeah. And then next we have a Samsung SCH A390 on Verizon. That's on Consumer Cellular, by the way, the Doro phone. No battery, sadly. One of the other phones. I got a whole ton of phones in the trade. If you have not watched that video yet, go watch it after this video. It's a pretty cool flip phone, the Samsung SCH A390. Next up, we have a AudioVox or UT Starcom CDM 8940 on Verizon. Untested. Samsung's also untested. Sorry about the vibration if you heard that in the microphone. Next up, this is more of a folder phone, but it looks like a keyboard phone, but it is, but I also consider it a flip phone since it flips kind of, just more of in a folder way. Casio G-Zone Brigade on Verizon. Untested. Time to move all the way up here. Next up, we have a Samsung SGH-T 319 on T-Mobile, untested. Next up, we have an LG UX 3200 on Verizon, untested. I found that in a Target bin. It's our first Target bin find. Next up, we have a Motorola, one of my two Motorola E815s on Verizon. I'm not going to even bother picking up the other one, just the worst condition. Next up, we have a Motorola i730 on Nextel. Those two Motorola's are untested. This is untested. Next up, for the last of the flip phones, we have a Motorola Timeport. I don't know the model, I forgot. Well, actually, the model faded off, and the carrier faded out. So yeah, it's just Motorola Timeport untested. Moving on to like MP3 players. Moving on to MP3 players, which I just said. An iPod Nano 3rd Gen works. An iPod Shuffle 1st Gen works. That's an 8. This is I forgot how much storage it had. I think it was an 8 GB or some sort. Well, I think it's an 8 GB. I forgot. This iPod Shuffle 1st Gen is actually a 512 megabyte. Next up, we have this thing I also got in the trade, a mini MP3 player. It works. It's a 4 GB micro SD in it. Yeah, I like how tiny it is. Yep, and that's it for my phone collection as of July 20th. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please go like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, or more phone collection videos. I'm trying to get more phones. And yeah. Bye, guys.